Coming to the realization that life happens for you is one of the biggest game changers and one of the biggest transformations of your perspective and your feelings on your own life. Hi, my name's Phil, and I serve to guide people towards their own self-realization through higher conscious awareness. Now, at spirit level, we're talking about the understanding, the knowing, the research, and the personal experience of realizing that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. And in the same way, life's not happening to you. Life is happening for you, because we're here to have experience. We're here to enjoy what this life and what this world brings to us. But if you hadn't noticed, there's a lot of chaos in the world, and quite honestly in many of our lives, or in some areas of all of our lives. So how do you try to overcome some of the negative thinking and the patterns and even the situations you either keep finding yourself in or that you're currently in right now? Let's look at it like this. You've got a new name. You've got a new label for yourself. And that name is the creator of your life experience. And I'm not giving it to you. You already have that designation. That's why you're here. So there's no need to diminish yourself or say that's not me. I don't deserve this, or I'm not capable of doing certain things. Realize you are fully capable. So whatever situation you're in right now, you have created it. Now you could step backwards and look at the different actions and situations that happened that allowed you to make that to happen. But really, it's who you are that's been leading you that way, which is made up of how you're feeling, how you're thinking, and who you're being. That's what you are doing all the time. You are a creator. We are all creators. Perhaps you then start to realize, if I'm making my own reality, then why are things not as I want them? You have to really think about, what are you being? What are you thinking about? What are your expectations? Because we all do deserve something that we think we want, yet you really have to think, do you want it? Do you need it? Because in order to actually be what you're looking for, to not be in negative situations or to be going round in circles in negative thinking, you have to ask yourself, why do I believe this to be true about my life? And don't look to other people. Don't look to what you've been told as to why that is. That's a cop-out. That's going to be getting an answer from somewhere else to do with something else that you may fulfill yourself with, and then it will come back round again, because you must turn within yourself to work out why these things are happening for you. It could be misguided actions or not discerning things in a helpful or productive way. Or it could be the feelings or the knowings that you have that are part of you to be doing something that you're not, and you need to pull your finger out. When you introspect, you realize that these things are there because they're happening for you, either to make you realize what you're doing and why it serves you, or why it doesn't serve you, so that you're then able to bring it into your conscious mind and let it be seen. So then it doesn't cause that unconscious and hidden problem anymore. That is starting to realize that life is happening for you. Because it's easy to understand things sometimes and have them intellectually in your mind, but realizing it is when you see it and you know it. You no longer need to stand under it and understand it. You understand it. Hence the word real in realization. That's when you align to a truth that perhaps is either a truth for you or a universal truth. If you're stuck in those negative patterns of thinking, don't think from where you are now and where you want to be. Think about, what would it be like to have it now within my life? What does it feel like being in that skin? What does it feel like inside me when I have enough money to be footloose, fancy free and be able to act on my passions? What does it feel like to like and love myself in full acceptance and appreciation of who I am? What does it feel like to have a partner in my life that reflects how I feel and love myself, so I can pass on and reflect that love back? So that you can start to actually step in and feel, what does that feel like being that person? What would you then carry around with you every day? We're always carrying this baggage of emotion, of thoughts, and at least 3/4 of that, if not more, isn't even our own, isn't even your own baggage. It's stuff you've collected along the way, along life, that, to be honest, we've got from friends, from parents and family, from colleagues, from institutions, from the media. These things are not part of us, yet we welcome them in, we give them the power without realizing. And then you're always with lead feet, stuck firmly to the ground, carrying all this stuff around. Instead of going easy on yourself and allowing yourself to gently rise up, even into the clouds, and realize your imagination is your creator, is the creator. It's the director and producer of your life. So dropping the unnecessary baggage is what gives you the freedom to start moving and expressing yourself. So think about what it really means to you if there's something negative in your life. If you don't want it, really think about it. Perhaps even place your attention down into your heart, close your eyes and think about it. Think about what's going on. Don't be stuck in your head. Think for impulses, because something energetic will speak to you, or intuitively, that's going to tell you or give you this very brief glimmer as to why that may be. Whether it's some sort of attachment that you have, or some sort of compassion you're trying to give, or being selfless or selfish. Whatever it might be, there will be something that's going to speak to you to make you realize that you are creating it. Life's not about letting everyone and everything else tell you what things are. It's your own discovery of your life experience to have the freedom to be able to see things the way you want to see them. And when you're seeing things that aren't real that you want to see, it will show you that they're not real as well. This can sometimes bring up a lot of negative thinking as well, which doesn't always mean what you are or what you want isn't real, but that either you don't need it yet, or you're not being, thinking, doing, acting in resonance to that frequency and vibration of reality and that version of you. Having expectations in your mind or mental field that need you to work on in your heart and your emotional field, so that you're not thinking what it's like, but you are feeling what it's like and who you are, and allowing that to happen rather than holding it back. There is a certain cycle that I believe is in the spiritual awakening, or when your consciousness opens up to higher possibilities, perhaps we'll say. Once you can begin to actually let go of being poor me and in the victimhood mentality of thinking life's happening to me, what am I doing? Perhaps even go through that. I've been through that. I think most people have. And that's a necessary part of pulling yourself back out of it again, going into the dip and coming up out. But perhaps you don't have to. You don't have to suffer to go that way. If you're able to have a more light-hearted perspective and approach to what might be happening in your life. Because whether you may have experienced it already or not, and you will do, is that synchronicity starts playing in and things start lining up for you. Once you've got more of a control on your energy, that you're being a creator, you're realizing that life is happening for you and not to you, that then gives you the power to be able to realize that things truly are lining up for you. And once you get in step and get out of your own way, drop all of that baggage that you've been carrying around, then you're going to be able to actually glide a little bit. And sometimes you glide a little and then get a bit of friction, and then glide and so on. But with a bit of practice, you begin just gliding. And more synchronicities keep happening to you because of the nature of the human being, because of the nature of us being spiritual beings, having this human experience in what quantum physics calls, this the holographic simulation, which is for another time perhaps. But it makes you realize you are part of everything and everything is part of you, which is why once you start to drop this baggage and start to glide along on being more of who you are by letting go of those negative external things, synchronicities line up as an extension of you being connected into everything. Further proof, if you like, that more things are lining up for you, not to you. And as challenges and more difficult moments come, you can have slightly more emotional and physical awareness of who you're being and what's happening in those moments. And don't get me wrong here, this isn't something that people can necessarily believe. It's such a departure from what we already understand in the world and how things happen to you, and you feel sorry for people. And we all have tough things and we have compassion for others, yet we are all doing these things to ourselves, and collectively we agree on some level for these crazy things to happen in the world, so that we all have the opportunity to be able to turn inwards and actually start to realize we are the creators of our own reality. So stepping into what many call your sovereignty, which I would also call your responsibility, which is your ability to respond to things rather than reacting to stuff, because you're just acting, you're reacting. It's stuff from the outside and your subconscious just keeps going round and round, so that's reacting. Responding gives you the opportunity and the ability to recognize things and transcend them and actually move forward, create that gliding effect for you to move towards whatever it is you're looking to create. It really shifts how you look at life, because you realize you do have the power and the ability to create what you want in your life. Things manifest. But as with all things, practice makes permanent. So you have to be able to cultivate your mind by tapping into the power of the moment of now, by looking through the eyes, feeling the feelings and acting how it feels to be who you're desiring to be. More presence, more time spent just living in the moment of now can create more gliding, more flow, and you notice the shifts inside of your perspectives and your feelings, and you notice on the outside things changing with synchronicities. Apply yourself in order to shed a lot of these layers of negativity, or even what the outside world is doing and telling and saying to you. You start to create your own narrative in a slightly imaginal way, but trying to be in the moment, so things just happen rather than dwelling on them, which keeps them inside your mind, where it can be analysed and reanalyzed, where the ego can get involved and attached and causes suffering. So relocate your attention to what serves you and what is serving you. And with that, you really start to move forward and receive physical manifested things that are more to do with what you have created in your mind. Let me know what you're creating and what synchronicities are showing up for you to confirm it. Let me know what negative challenges you might have. Express them out and see if you're able to get a new perspective on where you're at and why, or rather just to move forward in a new direction of energy, in a new sense of self, being your own creator, realizing life is happening for you in this wonderful life. So until next time, creators, much love and dream big.